Hi, I'm Jacob van Rijs from MVRDV. I'm sitting in Rotterdam in our exciting office together with 250 people who work on really a series of interesting projects all over the world. 30 years ago I founded the company together with Nathalie de Vries and Winnie Maas. Actually I'm the VR of the company, so to say. I'm super happy to tell you that the project in Guayaquil is the first one that we start working on in South America. When we started working on the project, of course, we started looking at the site and the city, and what struck us the most was the contrast between different things. The contrast between the nature and the city, the contrast between the hills and the water, and the contrast between, let's say, the buildings, the high-rises and the more informal buildings on the hills, the colorfulness of them, and that is an important driver for the design. So we call the project the hills, because these towers, you could say they're hills, but when you have a hill you also have a valley, and the towers connect at the base and they form this valley. At the bottom they become wider and they create a series of terraces with lush vegetation. And there you can see that in a way there's opportunities for collective gardens, lots of green, on the balconies as well. It was important for us that the project was not an island in the city, but it was actually offering access for others as well. That it gives something back in the form of a public plinth with lots of facilities, where you can go inside, where you can look up to the towers in like a kind of gorge in the mountain range. There's amphitheaters that lead you up to the first decks. So it's a very exciting space to go to, and a destination as well, a place to meet your friends. Of course, people like to walk along the water, and the promenade that's not already there is now developing. Of course, it was always an important element in the city, in any harbor city. Our location is right at this promenade, a bit further from the center, so we'd like to extend that route and make an exciting destination. The building is a small city in itself, with different towers, with different heights. So it is a way, it's a mini skyline, but it's also part of a bigger skyline along the promenade. From every angle, the building looks different, and the views are all the time changing. You have it as well from the towers themselves. So it really is an attraction and an exciting and sort of seducing place to go. So from different angles, walking to the building is already an exciting experience. The important aspect as well today, of course, how you make a building as sustainable as possible. And it's not only in planting the trees, of course, which is an important part, to create biodiversity in the city, to cool down, let's say, the urban heating effect that's happening in many places. But in other things as well, we make, for instance, the balconies a bit bigger, so that it actually shades the apartment below. So the 6 towers are all different, and as you move up in one tower, the floor plans also change. So we have an enormous variety on apartments. And what's nice to see in the model as well, you have the horizontal lines of the facade that somehow echo some of the other projects, walkway along the river. And then again, the colors from the landscape are part of this collection of more colorful low-rise buildings on the hills. So in that respect, it combines these two elements from the high-rises and the sort of low-rises. They have inspired the architecture of this exciting complex.